Meeting to order, it is on
Public comments
8:04.
first, Pat?
We changed the agenda, yes.
Most recent one that I had.
That's because I made a mistake in the mail and
Oh.
then I picked it up later on.
This one, but on this one. the one
Oh,
I-
yeah, no, this,
Okay, we have the call to order, the Pledge of Allegiance, where's the flag?
Flag
right
Flag
here.
is right there. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we will now have public comments, but before we go on, I would like to ask the board to approve a change in the agenda, because we have Kenneth here, our Eagle Scout, who wants to present his project, and rather than have him wait till who knows when, maybe we can change it so that after we have the opening remarks, we can have Kenneth present his project. Is everybody, can we have a vote on that? Would somebody like to make a motion?
I'll make the motion that we move amend the agenda for Kenneth to be able to speak after public speaking.
Do we have a second?
Sure.
Okay, all in favor? Okay, good.
Who seconded? Because you both did.
Jack did.
Jack.
All right, and public comment?
A couple, on the agenda that I was just given a courtesy copy of, I don't see a section for public comments, and I don't see an open floor discussion, section either.
Right, you're absolutely right, and the reason for that is that we're following the agenda right now that is in the current bylaws. And there's no place in the current bylaws for an open floor discussion, and there was no place for public comment either.
Okay, but, you're allowing there to be public comments tonight,
Yes.
so may I
Opening remarks.
address a couple of
Opening
things?
remarks, yes.
I went on the library's website and looked at the public access to records policy, which indicates that there is, quote, an application for public access to records form. I went to the research desk and asked for that particular form and was told that there is no such form, so I would respectfully ask for a copy of that tonight. And also, under the open meetings law, it's my understanding that whatever transpires in an open meeting of this board is supposed to be included in the video. And when I watched the video from last month's meeting, I noticed that an approximately 2 to 3 minute portion was deleted. And I need to ask who's in charge of editing and isn't editing a public meeting
Thank you very much.
censorship.
Thank you very much for your comments.
And I have one more comment, which is in the form of a question. And that is, for how many years was a stipend ranging from $1,000 to $5,000 being paid to directors and assistant directors to co-serve as the library's bookkeeper?
Thank you. Okay, do we,
I also have the same question regarding the censorship. I just want to inform that since the words that I mentioned there, they were written in the paper, which I handed into the secretary, and I have copies of it. And since it is censored, it will be printed, distributed all over Monroe to all the taxpayers, so they would know because they have the right to know. Also, I had asked about how the resolution of the person that managed the AFLAC, and surprisingly he was underpaid, and the answer was whitewash. It was resolved. How was it resolved? I don't know. And when I asked it, no answer was provided. Now, that apparently has fallen down while crying all the time about the taxpayers and taxpayers and taxpayers has fallen on the taxpayers. And you have the audacity to ask the taxpayers to provide another $40,000 extra budget. You are a disgrace, madam.
Thank you. Okay, the disposition of the minutes,
I make a motion to approve the July minutes.
Can I?
Yes.
There was two corrections that I had. One was that comment about subject to audit. You had made a motion after the first vote, so that when the second vote came to vote in the second portion, I did vote yes because we marked it subject to audit. So if you'd be so kind as to move Charlie's comments one before, because the first motion I didn't vote yes for because it didn't say subject to audit till Charlie corrected that for us. If you look at the thing, you see, it's just in the wrong place.
So you want the third motion moved to the second motion?
And, no,
And then
after
the
his
third
correction,
motion
right,
includes-
then I said, because it includes subject to audit, and that's the way it should be going forward. It's very important.
Yes.
And also, during Charlie's presentation of the motions of changing the bylaws, I had, discussed my concern regarding the replacement of Sandra, Keltai prior to her note of resignation. And, I would like that put in, even though I know that everybody's comfortable with Grace's suggestion that we just move on. I don't feel comfortable because I don't feel like it's really followed the bylaws at the time. Like I was hoping last month we could re-present that vote so that we made it legal.
I just want to clarify the point the last time. The reason why the state of New York regions had to get involved, that's because of the current bylaws that you currently had. So we appointed 5 people
No, I know that.
in
I
front
said
of the
this is in
community.
addition, right.
The community was very unhappy with whatever was going on that
No,
night.
that's fine,
The
that's
woman
fine.
resigned. Due to
She
the fact
didn't.
that she
She
resigned,
only spoke to
there was
Carol
a-
outside, Grace. That's
there was
just
an
my
election
concern.
passed. People
Okay.
are here based on the election.
It's
So for you
fine
to
with
say
me.
that is
I'm
not legal, it
I don't
seems.
feel comfortable. I don't feel comfortable because she presented her resignation days later. Marilyn said that the paperwork came in afterwards.
Yes.
So
There are
that
no
makes me
more-
uncomfortable. That's all I'm saying. Nobody said change it.
But that is an opinion, that is not
I want it
illegal.
on the minutes from last month. That's all I'm saying. I don't want to keep bringing it up. It's
okay,
foolish.
can we leave it there then?
Then put it in the
Bring to your
minutes and I'll be
attention, when we
fine.
talk about community, a handful of
Excuse
people
me.
were here, not the
Excuse
whole
me.
community.
Excuse me,
You are excused.
well, you could be excused too, because you're interrupting the meeting.
I'm doing
And you
whatever you were doing. That's simple. Just continue, please.
If you continue to disrupt the meeting, I'm gonna ask you to leave.
You can ask me to leave the same way we asked you to leave and you didn't leave. So continue, please.
Do we have anything like that about as far as rules of engagement, like the community and the board, and I don't know if there's anything about that, if
In
someone
the past year, you were not here, madam,
Yeah.
to see
keep.
the hellhole that was going
Okay.
I
on.
think we need to move on here.
Barbara was saying your
So if you just put that on the last month's minutes, I'll be fine. I'm not contesting anything that Grace said. I'll go with it, but I just want my concerns noted. That's all. Thank you.
Okay, so,
So I'll make a motion to approve the minutes with the changes as discussed.
Is there a second?
a second.
All those in favor? Opposed? Abstentions? Okay. All right, can we move on? Casey couldn't make it tonight.
Communication.
Oh, sorry. Thank you very much. Go ahead, Kevin.
So I have some papers to hand out to everyone here, so that they can get an idea of what this will consist of.
Thank you.
Okay, as soon as he,
Thank you.
thank you.
What's this?
So in the papers that I just handed out, it lists everything that would be needed for the project. It lists what the steps would be in completing the project. And it also shows pictures on here so that everyone can get an idea of what the flagpole would be set in. The tube would be in the ground, and then it would be filled with concrete so that it's not like spreading out. And then the second picture is of a wall that has been already finished with the capstone on it. So that's what the wall would look like around the flagpole.
How high would it be, Kenny?
You guys asked for 2 to 2.5 feet. The wall would be approximately 28 inches tall.
Would
Yeah,
you be
very nice.
comfortable for people to sit on, be attractive? Anybody else have any
Now, is
questions?
this gonna be where the old flagpole or where the sign was for the bookstore, basically? There,
On the corner there.
on the
It's in that
corner?
So as you drive in the driveways,
right?
right there where all the,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kenny, this picture, is that 28 inches?
The
Or would
picture,
it be a little bit higher?
no, the picture in there is not 28 inches. What the wall would look like outside is it will be 3 paver stones tall with the cap on top. But it was just to get an idea of what a finished wall would look like.
Nice, very nice. Yeah,
Can you
really
just tell us a little bit about yourself? Where do you go to school? What grade are you in?
Of course. I live in Stony Point in Rockland.
Oh,
I
okay.
go to North Rockland High School. I'm going to be a junior this year. And I'm in an ROTC unit. I'm going to be a volunteer firefighter.
Nice.
Very nice.
Now, what made you come up to Monroe?
My troop is from here.
Oh, okay.
I was in the troop originally and then I moved, but I wanted to stay with the
Oh,
troop.
nice. Very nice.
How much
Okay,
more do
great.
you have left after the project? Do you have all your badges and,
Yes, I have all the Eagle badges.
so
and
this is
pretty
it?
good. Yes, I just need to do my Eagle project.
Okay.
Yeah.
Glad we could do it. We started from.
What grade are you in school?
Yeah.
I just finished 10th grade. I'm going to be a junior.
Oh, nice, very good.
Well, within the time frame.
So, Kenny, this is an example. Is it gonna be a circle you're gonna make, or is it gonna be this kidney shape that you show here?
Or is it gonna be the shape of what's out there already?
Yes, it's going to be the shape of what's out
Which
there
is a
already.
square, right?
Well, it's not a
It's-
square, it's
Like a
a
triangle.
It's like a
It's like
it's like a 90-degree angle with
Okay.
a curve in it.
Yes, it's triangle.
Okay, very nice.
Yeah, I like it.
Anybody else have any questions?
When do you want to start?
I'd like to get this done before the ground freezes.
Mm-hmm.
So after this, if it gets approved here, I would go to the Boy Scout Council and hope that they approve it there so that I can start.
Okay.
Do we need anything from this village? Do we need any kind of?
Well, he'll
Oh,
take
Oh,
care of
you
that.
take care of that.
Yes,
Okay.
I got in contact with
Okay.
the village. I asked them if I need a permit.
Uh-huh.
I do not need a permit for building a flagpole.
Okay. Or the thing around it? You don't need a,
Yeah, I don't need a permit for
okay,
this
that's
project.
good news.
Excellent.
Yes.
Do you think we need a vote to approve this plan?
I have a question for, will you be working with other people from your troop, or who's somebody supervising, or what's the plan for the work?
The way that the project would go, I would have to supervise it. It's part of the project. I manage it. I can't actually physically do anything with the project except for watch how it goes and tell people like where to put stuff in something. I have to manage it, and there would be outside help like my father or something like that, and then there would also be people from the troop coming to help. Yeah.
Do you have
you
an
contract out cheap, sir.
Do you have an
It's the
estimated time of when you would be completing, like a semi-date, just so that we can have some kind of a, a ceremony or something?
That would be nice.
Yeah.
Ribbon cutting.
Like a ribbon cutting
Yeah.
to put you in the paper.
I'm not sure on a time frame yet because
But as you get closer, you'll advise us?
yes, because if the Boy Scout Council doesn't approve it, I'd have to go back and change something that they wanted changed, and then I would have to go again. So I'm not positive if they're gonna.
But keep us in the loop so that you make a good decision.
Yeah.
Kenny, before you leave, if you leave us your contact information?
Of course.
Well, I say we get it started.
So can we have a motion to
More than
accept
I
Kenny's
can
project?
As presented, or to make a, as presented.
I'll second it.
Okay, all in favor? Opposed? No, it's
Unanimous.
All right, very good.
Thank you.
I don't
So
want
from
you
our
to speak
standpoint,
your
you're
phone
in.
number,
Right, to
tape,
the-
so you shouldn't be putting your phone number out there.
Okay.
845.
That's gonna be really
Very nice.
Thank
Thank you for coming out, appreciate it.
Thank you, no problem.
Absolutely, and let us know what you need from us in terms of, like, if they need to talk to anybody on the building and grounds committee, you know,
Okay.
feel free to, you've got my
Yeah,
contact
if they
information,
need to
so
get in contact.
feel free to reach out to me, and I'll be more than happy to talk to whoever I need to talk to. Okay.
Alright, that sounds
Beautiful.
good.
Thanks, guys. You can stick around if you want, or you need to go.
Do
you have an extra copy of that?
Oh, sure. Beautiful.
Would anyone else like to go?
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. It's gonna really be a
Look
nice.
forward to the finished product.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Kenny, do you have plans for college yet? Do you know what you wanna do, where you wanna go?
For college, over the summer, I just visited VMI and the Citadel, and tomorrow I'm going to visit the Merchant Marine Academy. But, I'm just getting a feel for colleges right now. I'd like to enlist in the military and then go to college
Gotcha.
for criminal justice.
Very
Did
nice.
you decide on the Merchant Marine College, Kings Point, is that the one you had in mind?
Tomorrow,
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
Look, my nephew went there, he's a graduate, just sometimes it's good to know somebody who was there, so you can always say.
What's the name?
My name is Barbara Zerner, and my nephew is Kevin Kershaw.
You know who else, didn't,
Lives in the Newport area.
Rosanna.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
K-I-R.
Thank you for having me.
S-C-A.
Absolutely.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, let's get back to business here, people.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you for your service, sir.
Marilyn has some communications that she would like to share. Thank you. Good night.
Two of these are the same.
Okay, madam, you already discussed the taxpayer Monroe.
I'm just saying publicly that if he continues this behavior, I will have the police in here to remove him because we are not going to have our meetings disrupted like this.
I second that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, I agree. His comments were abusive.
Absolutely abusive.
Okay.
Let's talk about the $80,000 that was spent on lawyers.
Let's move on. Okay, communications. Two of my communications are the same. You know, we don't care what you think card is. Vincent LaSalle has been a warrior for the Monroe Library. A real warrior, a nice man and a good patron. He had left me a message, please call Jerry McQuaid. He is willing, as a town board council member, to put a vote to return the amount of money owed to the library, and just as he came in tonight, he said, I spoke to Marilyn, please contact Jerry McQuaid, the local town board member. He agrees to put the $10,000 owed to the library for a vote. Do it soon. I've heard that Jerry is not running for re-election. I'm not sure if that's true or not. That's strictly rumor, but I throw it out to you as a board as to how to handle it.
I spoke to Vince out in the library, and I said to him that we, as a board, and I'm speaking for myself, but I think the smart thing to do is not to get into the middle of a political situation. I think we can go to Tony and speak to him about it and see if there's any way we can resolve this situation. But I don't think it would be smart for us to pit one town board member against the other. I would like to hear what other people feel.
Or maybe a couple members of the board go to one of the meetings, and then, you know, when they have public comment, then be able to just raise it up again in front of the entire board, rather than just one or two people.
I've done that.
Yeah.
Did you go with board members or just as
I went with
yourself?
Vince LaSalle. I represented the library as the director
Okay,
to support Vince in his request, and I did, you know, make a plea out to the public. Vince, you know, has tried his best. The next day after I did that, Harley Doles did call me and say they were willing to do something in kind. I'm not sure what that would be, but that was a
Well,
nice.
I think we talked about maybe having them do the back.
Yeah,
Yes.
we did,
Yeah.
yeah.
Talked about that last meeting, as a matter of fact,
Yeah.
and Building and Grounds has even kicked that around and said, that would be perfect, because you're looking at not having to expend any additional money, from us that's not already spent. So we
Right.
would be recouping that and having something that would benefit all of the patrons of the library by having them come in and do that work.
Do you think it would be advantageous to get a small meeting with Building and Grounds and your board president with maybe a couple of the town board members?
It can't hurt, and I certainly, I don't have a problem with that. It'd have to be after hours because of work schedules,
Oh,
but
yeah.
absolutely, I mean, Jack and I are really, we're it, other than Pat. So it's just the three of us, and, you know, if you wanna try to throw something
Can I
together, I'll
help with this at all?
No, absolutely, that'd be wonderful, I'd welcome that.
Okay.
I think the library staff needs to be involved in it to put into that what they think the patrons would want. They interact with the patrons day in and day out. I don't, so it would be really stupid for me to come and go, oh, I wanna put in this and I wanna put in that. How would I know?
Well, we had the presentation from Joy.
Yes,
Joy is currently on about a 6-week sabbatical. Her husband has health problems, and both her parents and her mother-in-law also have severe health problems. So she kind of felt like she needed to either leave completely, which we didn't want,
No.
Yeah.
or take a little break to try to get that all together. So, but she did we could contact her obviously and get that from her, or Melissa might have it. What I would be doing is calling maybe Tony Cardone and getting him and a few, you know, maybe do, I don't know how it all works with the town.
yeah, I don't know.
But I could at least start with Tony. He's running for supervisor, and
I think for
tell me how you want
anybody,
me to do it.
I think for anybody that's gonna be involved in running for any positions on that board right now, it's advantageous for them to do something in kind for the public. So they'd be silly to say no to any kind of meeting that you try to put together. So if you can put something together for sometime this week or next week, that'd be great, because I'd like to put this to bed so that we're not every monthly meeting talking about trying to recoup money that's already, 2 years old?
So I'll call tomorrow, and
Yeah.
I'll let you know how I make out.
That'd be great, and just let me know.
Yep.
You've got my cell,
And
that's the
Jack
best
and
place to
I'll
catch
let
me.
you know.
Mary, who's the other person running? Tony Cardone?
Mary Bingham,
Mary Bingham, yeah.
yeah.
And, I think that's it. No, they're,
Well, no, Audra
Oh,
Schwartz is
Audra,
going
yeah.
to running for judge.
Right.
I would say that we need to take seated members of the board, because they're the ones that right now are gonna be the ones that are gonna be able to make this change. I don't wanna wait for the new board to be voted in November and then have to revisit this. It makes sense to just
so then.
do it now,
yeah,
invite the people that are already on the board, and whoever shows, shows.
Tony, Mike, and Rick Cologne are your best bets.
Mhm.
At least they're the most open-minded.
I would
Jerry's
say,
open-minded on this too.
I would say invite all 5 of them.
Yeah, well, definitely.
Although you said Harley was the one who said that
He
he would.
he called me and said that, you know, they'd be willing to do it in kind. I don't know, I think it would be best if some people of this board would talk to at
And
least
I'm
some
okay
people
with
of
that, but I
board,
would
and
say
I'll try to facilitate
invite
that.
all 5 of them, and whoever
Yes.
shows for that meeting shows.
Right.
And we have a conversation with them and say, look, here's what we're looking for.
Right.
I don't want a check for 10 grand, or, I mean, although that would really be lovely, but in lieu of that, give me a new backyard that would actually help benefit the town
The children of the
and the
community.
children of the community,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Right.
Okay,
Okay, moving on. We allowed the Y. The Y has some great programs, and a lot of them dealing with the children of the community. And they asked if they could use our front lawn as a water stop, which we did. We allowed that. And we got a nice thank you note from them saying, "Dear Marilyn, your gift to the Y strengthens our community and makes a difference in the life of each individual we serve. Thank you." And then in handwriting, she says, "Thanks again for the use of your parking lot as well as your precious electric." Oh yeah, we let them hook into the wall. "You helped make our event a huge success. Sincerely, Michelle Bernier." So that was very nice. We like to partner with the community when possible, certainly with not-for-profits like the Y. This is an interesting little story. a person, a patron, left her pocketbook in the library, and my staff are pretty incredible. I'll say that to the camera, my staff are incredible. They didn't just leave it there and hope somebody came to pick it up. They made sure they found out who the person was. It was difficult because when they went into the database, the phone number was wrong. So they emailed the person, and she came and picked up her pocketbook and gave and donated $50 to the library
Oh, how nice.
with a card. Dear Melanie, because it was Melanie Turner who actually pursued this. Thank you so much for all your efforts to return my pocketbook to me. I cannot thank you enough. I greatly appreciate it. Sincerely, and her name. And enclosed is $50 in appreciation for all you did. So that's a nice donation to the library. And
Very nice.
I thought you should know that. Okay. Also, that Field Goods program that we have, they gave us a site host incentive check for $45 as a thank you for us hosting their program. And
Which one is this?
this
now?
is Field Goods. This is
Oh,
every
yes,
week
yes.
people can get fresh fruits
I
and
thought you said
vegetables.
feel good.
I know, it is confusing. So that was very nice of them to do that. They're very, very nice
Maybe that's a
people.
new one we could start.
Yeah.
Is that working out pretty well? Are people picking up their
Well, one poor
groceries?
woman, and we've tried to get her and we don't know her number, we can't find her. She gets the whole kit and caboodle, the big bag, with the add-on eggs, cheese, and milk, bread. And she doesn't pick it up. And so the staff take it, but we don't really want it. We've worked furiously to find this woman, and
They can't give you the name from Field Goods?
we're trying Field Goods, so far, no luck.
I think Carol too, Carol said, I can't sleep, I have to find this one.
We're not, but we can't
Yeah.
keep this because
No.
it will rot.
Oh,
But the
yeah.
Feel Good
Absolutely.
people didn't call her back. I think
Oh.
Carol tried a couple times and they
Yeah, it's
have not
difficult.
responded.
And we feel terrible for this woman.
Well, maybe
How
they
many-
should just cancel her orders until she.
That's up to Field
Yeah.
Goods.
Yeah. Wow.
Well,
And we
if
have
they're
no,
getting
we're
paid for
just a
it,
pickup
Yeah.
drop off
How many
point.
do they have so far and that they?
We have about 5 or 6 people,
Very nice.
yeah,
And they're happy with it?
I guess,
Excellent.
yeah, they keep ordering,
nice.
yes. This is hard to understand, and I think we interpreted it, now I forget. I think you are, I think you all at the library are great. Thank you.
Okay, we'll go with that.
That's so short.
No problem.
Okay. And these were unsolicited, okay, so the next 2 were unsolicited. Librarian, which she's not a librarian, but she's a library clerk, Roberta, does a great job on the CD collection. It is the best CD collection in the Ramapo Catskill system. Again, nice job, Roberta, by Frank Ferrera. And Roberta has treated me, this is unsolicited, Roberta has treated me with such kindness today that I simply love to put it in writing, have to put it in writing. I'm very appreciative of her efforts to help me and to ease a situation in which I needed help. Beyond the call of duty, C. Delson. So
Very
that's that.
Go with her.
And that's it for communications.
Okay. Back to the director's
All
report.
right, I'm gonna skip over the programs because those you can read for yourself. We had a wonderful summer, by the way. A lot of people came to our programming. And I was at the ending party, it's over, and it was a great success.
Yeah, I
So,
think Melissa said over 100 children came through for the closing party.
yep, kudos to that
Over
children's group.
100 people.
And
came
right
through.
now, they're under stress, they're down a person. And everybody is stepping up to the plate.
They weren't all here at the same time though, but they came and went, and she
Yes.
said they counted over 100 people came through.
Right, and then all the teens that were there. Yes.
The teens are the ones that impress me.
Yes.
What, like 125 kids, I think?
They're good. They're really good. On the
As
wall.
somebody who's worked with
Kinda
high
serious.
school kids, it's
Yeah.
great.
Does anyone,
They love it too.
Does anyone have any petitions for me?
I gave you?
However, we've
I
met
have a
our,
few.
okay, thank you, Barbara. We've met our goal.
Not too many.
That's okay,
On
we
this
met our
sheet.
goal.
Do you want me to sign yours?
I don't have it with this.
Okay. just get it, if you have them, and get them to me before the last Friday in August.
Can you pass that? I wanna sign it.
I could sign that.
Anne Marie, would you please verify that I was out there this morning?
She was in ShopRite.
I was on my phone, and she was standing out there getting signatures.
Accosting people.
Okay, going through my report as you happily sign the petitions. One of our part-time reference staff members, Gail Edmonds, handed in her resignation. As she goes up the list on the school bus runs, our schedule and her bus schedule conflicting. In addition, her youngest son is entering high school and is in a lot of sports, and a lot of her hours are going to be evening hours to accommodate her daytime bus schedule. And she feels it's important for her to be there for her son in these last 4 years of his education. So we wish Gail the best of luck.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Are you replacing it?
Yes, we're in the process right now of interviewing. Alex will be going to NILA. He's never been before, and I'm sure he'll find plenty there
I know
to
he
educate
will.
himself with.
I always love it when I go.
Grace can attest to the fact that she made all these visits to our legislators, and I and a number of my fellow directors in William Larkin's territory went and visited him. And he is a great supporter of libraries. You don't have to work when you go there. He just knows, he understands. It's like selling apples to the fruit tree guy, you know? But you have to do it, and it's important to do it. Advocacy Day also is important. I've seen the difference myself over the years I've been a director, the difference it makes when you go out there, you hit that ball out of the park. You're not gonna be doing that, they're not gonna give you the money.
Yes, I've been to library advocacy days many times. The only reason I don't go anymore is because I'm in Florida. But it's a very important involvement if you are free to do it. To put your face out there, speak for libraries, tell the legislators how libraries make a difference.
It's also a learning experience.
Yes, it is, how government works.
Right.
I was up there one time and Aileen Gunther took us into the library that they have for the legislators. Unbelievably beautiful. Beautiful murals on the ceilings. Absolutely gorgeous. But it's just something you wouldn't ordinarily get to do.
Okay, so that went well.
Anybody else need this?
Anybody else need to say?
I do.
You do. I know you do.
Did you sign it at the bottom, Barbara?
Did, but not the, and the very, yeah, then it looked.
At the very
I
bottom?
did, the very bottom.
Okay, thank you. All right, on August 21st, as we all well know by now, there will be a solar eclipse, 70% of which we will see. We have ordered 100 glasses, and we've gone through the first 50 already.
What?
Yeah,
They
I've
were
been
from
Are you
Amazon,
selling them or giving them?
giving them.
You didn't want, there's some that are bad, they told you
Amazon just
today.
had a huge recall.
We didn't get it from Amazon.
I got mine from, one from the eye doc, I went to the eye doctor.
Oh, I don't know, Melissa got them. I don't know.
I think they're the certified ones though that she
Right.
got the
Because this
correct
morning they
ones.
said sometimes they say certified and they weren't, there was a whole thing on the Today Show.
Hmm.
Are you
Well-
giving them out or selling?
We're giving them out, we're
Oh.
not selling them. And we're gonna have a program. We're gonna
Oh,
serve, we're gonna have people come and do it together, and we're gonna serve moon pies, sun chips, and
Nice.
maybe sun-kissed orange juice.
Yeah, or Sunny D.
Something
What time
like
is the
that.
program? It
But
starts
it
at
starts at
1:30.
yeah, it starts around 1:30 and ends at 4, so probably we're gonna be having.
But you have to go to the program to get the glasses, or did you
No,
giving
people
the
have already
glasses
picked
at
up
the
their glasses,
okay.
they don't have to come to the program to get the glasses.
So
We're just,
are
that's
they
the
gonna be more
service.
glasses at this,
There are more, yes, we ordered 100, we've used maybe 30 to 40, I
Yeah,
think, at this
okay,
point.
it's good to know.
Hurry up,
No, it's because I
Going
told them to go
fast.
to the eye doctor tomorrow, I'll tell her if they don't have it.
right.
And also Alex put at the reference desk how to photograph the eclipse with your iPhone, with your
Oh, nice.
smartphone.
Really?
He has a pamphlet that we got from NASA, I think.
Nice. Neat.
Yes.
Okay.
We are ready for the solar eclipse.
Okay.
All right, Maria Arias, our bookkeeper, has given in her notice. We put a note, and I'm very sad about that, because I liked Maria a lot. She was good at her job, and know, this is the decision she made, and I'm very sad about that. But we are in the process of getting resumes. A lot of them are not good. People from Connecticut and Long Island, I don't, you know what it is, you put it on Craigslist. And it triggers with, but we have a couple of good ones. We have an interview tomorrow.
Do you have anything on LinkedIn?
I don't know that we did LinkedIn. We did
No, I
RCLS,
don't
we did
think
the
he
Photo
did.
News, Times Herald Record, and Craigslist.
That might be an ideal LinkedIn.
Yes.
I'll put it.
And you
Casey mentioned something about a job description. I believe that you have a job description somewhere in the records for her at this time. If he wants to alter it,
Yes.
it's one thing, but
Yeah, we have to because
but
things
there
have
is,
changed.
there is a job description that was
Because
made.
we've gone on to QuickBooks Online for security
nice. Yeah, yeah,
purposes.
yeah.
Yeah, we've already online and it is
Well, it
nothing
probably has
like
to be
the old
tweaked,
QuickBooks.
but you have something to stop.
Right, right.
And I think you wanted to make sure all the 1099 language was accurate.
Okay, yeah, Casey will be taking care of that.
Yes, you will.
Okay, I think building and grounds is gonna be Charlie's bailiwick, so I'm gonna skip over that for
Yeah,
now.
it is.
Right? And Joshua Davies, who is here tonight, had informed me, probably at some party or program, that because we're zoned commercial, he is not able or allowed to function as an asbestos. Am I correct in saying
And that is unfortunate,
that? Yes.
but thank you.
So we're changing the zoning to the library just for that. And then we'll flip it back.
Okay, grants, you see we got 90% of our LLSA grants. We have to wait for the last 10% until the 3 libraries who have a variance, not us for the first time in a very long time. Yay, we don't have to have a variance. And the Larkin grant, we did receive the opinion of counsel from Rich Girton. And just a couple of days ago, I went to the post office at the end of the day and I mailed that out.
Yay.
So that was 2 copies of that. Pat had to come in and get it, and we both had to get our signatures notarized. And we have been working on it. Great minds think alike, and then Charlie suggested we do it at the same time. It was very weird. Mary has done this. It's a vendor. Actually, it was Steve Conforti who suggested it, and then Charlie just on his own did. It's a vendor technician log. When a vendor comes in to do work on the building of any type, they'll date it, name of the company, time in, time out, and then the purpose of the visit or what they accomplished during the visit.
Very good. We had something similar a few years ago where you had a list, you had a chart of all
That
the
was a list
vendors.
of the vendors.
Chart, but that should be in the front
This
of the book.
is, yeah.
No, but
yeah.
I'm
No, I
saying
understand,
as-
yes, yes,
as a-
yes. Yeah, and we have to change that because I'm sure we have.
Correct.
And somebody's name will be on each entry?
Yes,
The
you'll
person who
have
comes.
the date, the name of the company.
The name of the company, but what about the technician?
Oh, wait a minute, this is Liz Walsh. Hi, Liz. Yes. Oh, okay, she came, are you here still? Okay. Okay. Here, you know what, let me give you my cell number, when you get to the door,
You don't wanna say that
well, you
out
have
loud?
my cell number.
But
So-
I was just gonna say Marilyn.
She's
Doesn't she
here.
have one of those buttons to come in?
I don't think she has, no, because she hasn't been in to get one yet. I'm not sure, she'll tell you when she gets here. She was here, was trying to get in.
Oh, that's a shame.
Right, right, okay. Larkin grant is off, and I did the vendor log, and.
Yeah, we were asking though, did that list the vendor and the text name?
The technician's
Oh,
name.
sorry, it would be the name of the company, the date, the name of the company or individual, like when it's Tom Christopher, it's Tom Christopher.
Right.
Insurance, time in and out, purpose, job complete, and then a larger space for purpose of visit, which would be what they've accomplished.
Sure.
But under company, if they just put the company name down, just shouldn't there be a person's name?
There should actually be a tech name to go with it.
Technician's
Well,
name?
Or a text number.
what Barbara's talking about is a chart that will go in the front here that will
No,
have
that's
all
what I
of that.
meant.
Oh,
I meant,
okay.
it says name of the company, right?
Or name and or company.
Name and or company.
But they
But
want to
it's a
have the
corporation.
name of the person doing the work.
Right,
The individual and the
Should be
company.
Like
Marilyn.
Steve Conforti.
HW Mechanical, yeah, or WK Mechanical. yeah.
Okay, so there's a space for the name
Right.
and then a space for the
Okay.
company.
Right.
The
So it's-
individual who
it's
is
gonna
doing
be
the
both.
work.
Right,
Right.
Yes. That's what everybody seems to be concerned
Right.
about.
Yeah, I
Which is
just,
very important, because
Yeah.
each time they send somebody else.
Right.
yeah. Oh,
One doesn't want one.
WK Mechanical seems to be pretty consistent on who they're sending. It's
But you know, different companies
Yeah,
do different
yeah.
things, it's better to
agreed.
have.
No, absolutely agreed.
You wanna talk about this?
Diane has,
Okay,
it's in the packet, Diane.
then,
The poster.
then we got these highlights from Ramapo Catskill. And what happens in the highlights is, most libraries give a little blurb about their own library, plus there's all kinds of different information that's interesting, financial information. A lot of it is the public libraries, electronic resources, delivery service. It's what RCLS does, and then our little highlights. So I'm gonna pass it around, but I'll start with you, Charlie. And then you can I put the piece of paper in Monroe this section, and I'm finished.
Okay, very good, thank you.
You're very welcome.
Okay, so next we have committee reports.
Treasurer,
And
treasurers, we have to.
Well, it's a good thing there's a lot of you to keep me on track.
Something about Casey tonight.
Yeah, let's see, Casey sent, his report in, and let me just see. Charlie, did you see that, what, Casey sent?
Yeah, and then I saw your response, and I agree with your response.
Do you wanna read that off? And
Yeah,
I'll do the first part and then,
Yeah, go ahead.
let's see. He couldn't make it tonight, he planned on coming, but he had some last minute meetings that he was not able to get out of. He wants to table the acceptance of the monthly financials until next month, when the finance committee and he will have met with Steve Hofer from RCLS, and we wanna make sure that we're doing things under best practice as suggested by Grace. And one of the things is a warrant audit and the warrants every month, correct, Grace? So Casey feels that it would be better to put that off until after we get this squared away with the warrants. And he's going to be meeting with Stephen Hofer, I think next week.
Can I ask you what a warrant?
It's an approval of the bills,
It's like a list
basically.
of bills, I think,
Oh,
that have been
good.
paid.
That
And
should
you go
be
through
fine.
A warrant, what I saw is that during your financial reports, you do not get a list of the bills and the check and where does it go. So that's what we do with the warrants. So I said it would be easier if instead of getting a pile of bills and checks and everything else, it would be easier, the whole board can see check, was it made of, what account did it went to,
That's
etc.
good, that's what we used to do.
So that's what a warrant is, and I didn't see that the past few times, so I recommended that maybe they
Oh,
need
that's
to
good.
develop it with Stephen,
I
who
didn't
is
know who named
the
it
financial
was.
person in
Okay.
our system. So that will be available to you at every board
That's
meeting.
what we used to get in an email, right, Mary, mid-month?
I
We
don't
used
think
to
we
get
ever
that.
did
Oh,
it
you're
that
talking
way.
about, occasionally we would do the bill binder, and then
Yeah.
Maria ran off a check detail, but I don't think we ever sent the check detail.
No,
to-
it's a little bit different, it's a little bit more, so you know exactly, and also it helps because sometimes are the same kind of, the checks are written to the same people,
Over and
you know,
over, yeah,
over and
right.
over, and all of a sudden, when you look through them, you see something different. So it sparks a bit of, you know, you start looking at the bills
That's
and you
good.
get used to it.
That's good.
When you see a report that does not give you a little bit of detail, sometimes it's difficult, especially from people that are not financially
Right.
skillful, I should say. So this makes things easier and clear and transparent. So
Perfect.
that's what I thought it would be a good idea
Thank
for them to work on.
Okay, Charlie, you wanna take care of, the finance committee report there since you are,
Yeah. What he writes is, we look forward to meeting with Steve Hofer from RCLS this month in order to establish best practices, which we just talked about. And of course, with Maria's departure, we hope to turn a fresh page and put our best foot forward with clear and descriptive outlines of the position and reporting hierarchy. We'd like to thank Maria for her years of service here at the library, as well as her offers to aid during the transitionary time frame and her, as we backfill her role. So that was very kind of her to do that. In addition, this will also act as an opportunity for us to establish a proper 1099 contract with the new bookkeeper, one that includes proper indemnification clauses, as well as a reference to job responsibilities as outlined by the library's policies, such that we are not bound to the contract should we change
Or shift.
Responsibilities going forward, which can be placed into effect by a policy change rather than an entirely new contract. Lastly, with the help of Alex and myself, we've begun looking into the long-term sustainable solutions to our current financial reporting, specifically as Marilyn referenced QuickBooks Online, and FileMaker is something that they currently use, and the way we securely access our information. So we're looking at changing how we secure the information about our financials so that they're not just out on the website for anybody and everybody to see everything. We're only supposed to have certain financial information that's stored out there, and we want to make sure that we're following the proper guidelines for RCLS and just for the safety and security of the information of the library.
And we've already moved to QuickBooks.
We've already done QuickBooks, so the FileMaker is the next thing that we're looking at, trying to find a resolution for that.
We moved a lot out of FileMaker. I don't think there's nothing in FileMaker. We moved to Google Calendar.
Yep.
And we've moved to Zahara for our purchase.
Just our meeting room reservations.
So, and
That's it.
that's something that we can, I can help Alex with. I'll have a conversation with him
Sure,
sometime this week. I'll give him a call
Okay.
and we'll take care of that. But
sure thing.
and again, he apologizes for not being able to make it tonight. He had some last minute meetings that were scheduled, so he was unable to make it. But that's the finance committee report.
Do we
Very
need to
good.
make a
Thank you,
motion
Charlie.
I'll make a
to
motion.
table?
I'll make a motion to table the acceptance of the monthly financials until they can meet with Steve Hofer and until Casey can be here.
A second? Donna seconds? All in favor?
Unanimous.
Unanimous? Okay. All right, now let's make sure I can read the agenda properly this time. I assume it's nominating you next, am I right, Jack?
Oh, yes. But we haven't met. We haven't met yet.
Sure we had.
Have we?
No.
Oh, okay. Because if you do, I'd like to know.
That's what I was just gonna say to
Yeah, how'd the meeting go?
All right, Charlie, building and grounds.
Building and grounds,
Ta-da,
okay.
ta-da. We already had the Eagle Scout
Yeah,
project.
so I have in front of me, I'm gonna have everybody just take one and pass it if I can reach. There we go. Sorry about that. You can just take a bundle and pass it. They should be separated somewhat.
Oh,
No,
let it be,
yeah, there we go. Yep, no,
yeah.
yeah, it's,
you.
sorry about that.
Pull it in.
I think I already printed this out.
Yeah.
There's
Can
3
you go out and
pages.
get
No, well, no, there's also a copy of the
Someone's gonna
bylaws
get you.
there too, from the website, so that everybody has a copy. So that's one copy right there, one bundle, right here.
see how it's.
There you go.
Oh, I
See?
see.
Yeah, it's,
The copy machine does it that
Yeah.
way. Which is
yeah, it just kind of collates it really weird, which is, it's also very slow.
It's also what?
Very slow, yeah. So we're looking again at, we met the first Thursday of every month.
You
We
doing, excuse me, are you doing building and grounds or bylaws?
Building and grounds, I'm sorry, yep, I'm on the wrong thing, okay, my
No
apologies.
problem. Hey,
See, look at
listen,
that, you can read it, but I
This is the
can't
tenor of
follow
the
it.
evening, so
Whatever order you want to go.
No, that's okay, all right, so building and grounds.
this is all.
Obviously, the main thing that Building and Grounds was dealing with this past month was the HVAC installation and completion. That's done. We replaced that unit with a unit very similar to it. It's actually the same brand, and we did that through WK Mechanical after going through a bid search. The other thing that we're gonna be looking at doing for this, because that was kind of a nightmare for something that could have been very emergency related, if you will. I mean, had it been really, really hot during the weeks that we didn't have that unit functioning at 100%, it could have been very, very ugly very quickly. So we're gonna be working on setting a policy for engaging for emergency situations without having to incorporate the entire board. So look for a new policy coming on that. But back to this, while they were doing the replacement of that air conditioning unit up on the roof, Steve had actually noticed that there were a couple of things that were done with the installation of the brand new train units that were there during the expansion that were put in place. The problem is that there are issues with the condensation piping and the gas pipes that are up there. The gas pipes were never ever sprayed or painted with any type of rust-proof paint. So now you have copper pipes that are up there and they're rusting. So within the next year to year and a half, you probably would have some type of a leak, a gas leak, which would be really, really bad. The other thing that's going on up there is that you've got condensation pipes that come out of the air conditioning units, so that as it sucks moisture out of the air to get the humidity out, it drains it out those pipes onto the top of the roof. They're actually hitting the roof. They were put in incorrectly, where there's no clearance between the pipe and the roof. It's digging in the roof so that as the unit's shaped from wind, it's now digging a hole in our roof, which we will have some issues with that if we don't take care of getting that corrected. So I have actually asked Marilyn and the staff to go back to our general contractor, which would have been Verticon, that was supposed to oversee all of the subs that were doing all the work, to find out why wasn't this stuff done. The other issue with the gas piping is that in some places there's no U-clamp there to actually clamp it down to the little piece of wood that's supposed to be supporting it. So it's just vibrating freely. You could eventually get a break on that, not to mention the fact that it really should be painted anyway, some type of a bright yellow, so that in inclement weather, if you have to go up there for some reason, you need to be able to see the piping. And if it's just rust colored, it will blend in with the roof. So what we're looking at is trying to go back, since there are still warranties in place, and it's a relatively new installation, so I can't understand why it's already rusting through. We're